And here's another hit, baby Bonds.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How's my audio?
It's good.
It's good? Okay.
Yeah,
You
it's
get me and
good.
everything?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to let a couple more people join in. You know I have to rep the home team right quick.
I saw that. I saw that on the last video.
Absolutely. So for everybody that's joining in, thank you for jumping on and watching the recess and everything. Before we get started, make sure after this, you guys click the link in my bio. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, and also make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I gotta get my subscribers up so we can make this message go worldwide. So for those who's joining, those who are going to see this later, I have Miss Shanice Akins. She is a rising senior at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. My alma mater, Coach E's alma mater, the best college in the world. We are the flagship of the Delta. Just a little bit about Shanice. She was 2020 preseason all SWAC conference. Also, the season got cut short, which everybody did due to COVID and everything like this. But in 2019, she hit 349 with 15 runs scored. So definitely give it up for the superstars. So Shanice, for those who watching and might not know anything about you, can you tell us how you got started playing softball and how you landed at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff?
Yes, sir. So I started off at MGSA. It's located in Mansfield, Texas. I started there. Really, my parents, they pushed me to try all sports. So softball was one of them. And really from there, I did coach pitch, machine pitch, all of that, fast pitch. And then I just worked my way up. I went to a lot of camps, showcase tournaments. And from there, UAPB recruited me. And that's how I landed here.
Okay. Shout out to Pine Bluff keeping that recruitment going. Shout out to Coach Michael Bumpers, man. Really good guy. His daughter's actually, what year is his daughter in right now?
I believe his daughter is going on her 3rd year. So she's a junior this year.
Okay, nice. I remember, so here's a little backstory. Coach Bump was my baseball coach. He recently transitioned over to softball. I know it was hard for him.
Yeah.
But his daughter is currently on the UAPB team right now, and I remember her standing on top of the dugouts. And one series we were at Grambling, she was dancing on top of the dugouts in the middle of the game. He was like, "Get down, there." But I don't want to embarrass her right now because I know she's going to see this. Oh, I don't want to embarrass her. So you talked to me about your recruitment process a little bit. That was great. So can you talk to me about your rising senior? Can you talk to us about your major and your plans after graduation?
Yes. So my major currently is, I'm double majoring in health and physical education and rehabilitation services. So
Okay.
I actually plan on being a counselor. That's what I want to get my master's in back home at UNT. So hopefully that works out. But if not, I'll definitely go back. I want to teach. I want to coach at my alma mater. So those are my goals and aspirations. I'm just waiting to get there.
Okay, nice. You sure you want to coach? It's a little hard. I see my boy Trey Hodges just signed.
I definitely want to coach. I've wanted to coach for the longest time. It's in my blood. I love the game. Like, I'm super excited to reach that part of my life and just go from there.
Well, the first thing is you got right by coach. You made the adjustment. You made sure your Wi-Fi was good sitting in your car and everything like that. So you one step ahead. You making no excuses and everything. You getting the job done.
Yeah.
I had Jade on here from Claflin University. Their Division II program. So it's a little bit different than Division I softball. So talk to me. What's a typical day like as a Division I softball player?
So coming in as a freshman. So I'm going to just give you a rundown of how the day goes. So at 5:30 in the morning, I'm waking up. I'm going to weights. I'm going to run and stay there for about 2 hours. It changes by the day. It just depends on coach and how in shape we are. So after that, I go back, take a shower, get ready for class, go to class from 8 to 12. After that, I'm going to take a shower again. Then I'm getting ready for practice. Practice is from 3 to 5:30. So after that, I go take a shower, come back, get ready for study hall. You already know how study hall works. You have to get 8 hours, 6
Oh
hours,
yeah.
depending on your GPA. So I've been lucky enough to have my GPA high. I don't have any study hall. But when I did come in as a freshman, the load was different. So I did have that study hall time. But your days are very packed. They own you when you go to school, and you just have to be committed to the process.
Say that one more time. Somebody missed that. Say that one more time. You gotta be
You have to be committed to the process 24/7.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, you gonna be. Hey, if you don't make Team USA, you're gonna be an outstanding coach, committed to the process. So, you know, I had a conversation with Coach. I'm sorry, Troy Williams. He's an alumni of Alcorn State University, and we both worked in Chicago as baseball coaches. And we just literally last Thursday had a conversation about SWAC baseball, right? So, can you talk to us about how it is to play in the SWAC conference on the softball side?
It's very competitive. Very
Okay.
competitive, very rowdy, very the alumni all in your face. They are invested in you. So the SWAC is invested. They're all for it. SWAC tournament is one of the biggest things that I hold dear to my heart because I love going. I love seeing the teams transform because no team that you play during season ever comes to SWAC tournament looking the same way.
Okay.
So I love the SWAC personally because it's competitive.
Absolutely. Major shout out to the SWAC. I'm a former SWAC alumni, class of 2009. Hey, SWAC, y'all got to repost this, man. Real talk. We're gonna challenge y'all to repost this as we are embracing and promoting the SWAC. So make sure that this goes on y'all channel, and then y'all, whoever's watching this after we get done, y'all tag the SWAC, repost it, all of that. But great insight on the SWAC. The part that stood out to me was when you said nobody goes to the tournament looking the same, right? And that's so true. Like, you get to the tournament, man, and just, you know, I know it's a little bit different now, but you get to the tournament and the team that was in last place, their hot is, you know what, you like, uh-oh.
Yeah, definitely. Even coming in second or coming in third, you're like, oh my gosh, because you're always thinking that could have been me if I just would have put in a little bit more. It's always like a what if thing, but I try to give it my all every single time I go because, like you said, our season got cut short, and so for me that was never in my plans. But now I know I have to play like it's my last every time I step out on the field.
Absolutely. So I see, you know, when I watch softball, it's like two different types of games, right? And this is just, I'm generalizing, like, don't kill me, you know, as softball coaches around the world, do not kill me. I see teams play a slap game, a really fast game, or they play what I call bully baseball, where they're trying to drive the baseball out with a softball. I'm sorry, they're trying to drive the softball gap to gap out the stadium, right? So what style of game does Arkansas Pine Bluff play nowadays?
When I first came in, we had two slappers. Their job was they were at the top of the lineup. They got on base, and as hitters, we had to hit them in. But now with Coach Bumpers, he's a different type of coach. He's like, get a base hit. You gotta come in clutch. You just gotta present when it's your time. You know what I'm saying? You have to be clutch. You have to be able to come off the bench and be productive. So he's very much a hitting coach. He loves to see you hit line drives. He loves to see you in the gaps. So yeah, I would say we're definitely a hitting squad.
Oh yeah, I gotta take one comment. Coach Danny C, Maywood, Illinois. He was a former baseball player. The prestigious Proviso East High School. He says, what type of schedule do they play in the SWAC softball non-conference? Is it similar to baseball, playing bigger programs? Can you elaborate on that?
So we do play a few bigger programs. We did have the opportunity to play Arkansas, which I was super excited about because you never get to see, you know, a big conference stadium. Like the atmosphere is so much different. And me going in, I was nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But their fans are so supportive. So We played schools like UNT. We played Arkansas, Louisiana Tech. Now, as far as bigger schools, we don't play huge schools like
Okay.
as far as baseball, because I know they really like to drive for big schools. We play more smaller schools, but they're still competitive.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're definitely competitive.
Okay. So now I hear you say you guys play the small schools. What is the toughest school that you guys play, right?
I would say Louisiana Tech.
La Tech?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, for
What
sure.
makes them
Like
so tough?
they are a hitting team. They're a hitting team. They can produce. They can pull people off the bench and hit it over the fence. To say the least, they can produce. And so for me, I was like, I have all these thoughts going through my head, like, don't let a ball drop, don't do this, don't do that. So that was the one team that kept me on my toes 24/7. I was always thinking about what I had to do. What do I do in case the ball comes to me in a clutch position? You know what I'm saying? So that for me, that school right there, I will always remember.
Okay. Rust and Glass, Fix It Fast. They used to have that playing. Do they still have that going? Latte?
I
Rust and
believe.
Glass, Fix It Fast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
So we talked about the non-conference, right? So who's the team to beat in conference?
I would definitely say Texas Southern.
Texas Southern? Okay.
They have a big squad. Their pitching staff is solid. They have a incredible lineup. So every single time I play them, I play it like I want to prove something to you. I want to show you that we're just as good as you, if not, we're better. So I always play like I have something to prove.
So TSU, that's the game you got circled on the calendar every time?
That's the one I circle. That's the
Okay.
one yeah, that's the one I circle. I definitely, they're SWAC champions. They've been SWAC champions for a few years in a row at a time. So I definitely look forward to playing them.
Okay. So now, I asked this to Nakia Hall, the Grambling coach. I asked this to Jada, which plays at Claflin University. I had both of them on the recess prior to you.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, because this is the ongoing debate, right? This is the 2020 debate during COVID. What's harder to hit, fast pitch softball or pitch baseball?
Softball, definitely.
Why do you say that?
I would definitely say because the spin is very much different. You're
Okay.
not able to see like you are a baseball. Is overhand easy. but yeah, definitely a softball. The velocity is different. The movements are all different, and in the field, even reacting to a softball is very much different. Because the field is smaller, so you have less reaction time and things like that. So I definitely say a softball, but I'm a little biased.
No, that's okay. So I've had a baseball coach to come on the recess and say softball is definitely harder to hit. I got to take a pause. I got to give a big shout out to Ashley Smith. She just jumped on. She's class of 2008 Arkansas Pine Bluff. She was the shortstop for the UAPB. So make sure you guys definitely connect after this. Ashley, you follow Shanice. Shanice, you follow Ashley. She's right there. 8 Smitty 19 was a hell of a softball player. Right now she's working in college recruitment, admission, tutoring. Like she does everything for colleges and everything like that. From Detroit, have to give a major shout out to Miss Ashley Smith. So now, talk to me like, right, you got COVID going on. How are you staying sharp, right? What are you guys doing to stay sharp? Because I know the team practices has gone to the wayside and everything due to the virus. So what are you doing to stay sharp?
So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sissy's.
Sissy's Log Cabin, yes.
That's my place. That's where I go work on myself. I just came off a surgery, shoulder surgery. But I still put in my work. I still go run on my own time. Now we can't do that on campus, but I always find a place to go, even if it's in a parking lot. You can do some sprints. You can, take some laps. But I personally, I have a lot to prove with this injury in itself. So I definitely try to work out on my own and Sissy's is my home. So
Listen, hey, the great thing about it is we used to hit at Sissy's in baseball, so it's good to see that that's still going on. Joe Cook, shout out to Joe Cook. He's used to play baseball in Pine Bluff. He works at Sissy Log Cabin now. I got a couple more alumni jumping on. Okay. Miss Ashley Smith, which was the shortstop when I was there for the softball team, she said, scientifically proven softball is harder. Okay, Ashley, we're going to have a challenge. I'm gonna do, you know what? I'm going to do a virtual hit challenge between the softball player and the baseball player. I'm going to set it up. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to set it up.
You
Everybody
should.
whoever's interested in the virtual hit competition, make sure y'all DM me and then like this video and repost it and share it to somebody who wants to get in. Right? So you talked to me earlier about when you were getting recruited out of high school, right? So I'm familiar with the baseball recruitment process, right? Usually it's you go to a showcase, you show well, the coaches follow you throughout your season, then they make an offer. How is the recruitment process in high school?
So the recruitment process for me was a little bit different. I feel like I did everything. I made a video. Of course, coaches want to see you mess up and, you know, your successes. So I made the mistake of putting all my goodness out there instead of showing, you know, how I react when I miss a ball. So that, if I could give any advice, I would definitely do that instead. But I made videos, I emailed coaches every week, I attended camps, showcase tournaments. Those are huge, full of college coaches that are, you know, really wanting to see you play. But I basically made the video and I just put myself out there. I sold myself. That's really what you have to do. You have to sell yourself. Nobody's going to believe in you unless you believe in yourself. So I sold myself. I definitely sold myself.
I love it. I love the point where you said the coaches just don't want to see you do well. They want to see how you respond to adversity, right? Because, and I say this all the time, when in the baseball world, you don't have to necessarily go 4 for 4 and, you know, have 12 RBIs in the game. The college coaches and, you know, in baseball world, the pro guys, they want to see how you handle your next at bat, how you handle adversity. Can you respond? Your mental makeup, right? So that's I'm glad that you said that. That's so pivotal, right? Because a lot of parents, you know, I'll share this with some of the parents in baseball and softball, you know, and they'll be like, I never knew that, right? Because that's great. That was a nugget. So, like right now, what are the tools that you would suggest, or the things that high school softball players need to work on in order to become a Division I softball player?
I would just say mechanics, like go back to the fundamentals, because in college, that's exactly what they do. They go back to the fundamentals and they see how fundamentally sound you are. And that was one thing that I had to learn how to love it, because that's what makes you a great player, is being fundamentally sound and being able to come in clutch in those positions. Like, I'm so grateful that I went to hitting lessons. I hated it. I hated getting yelled at, but I was so grateful in high school and college where I was just consistent, and consistency will keep you in a lineup.
Oh, absolutely, man. Say that one more time. Somebody missed that. Somebody missed that. You dropping some, hey, you dropping some nuggets and some jewels, man. I got to fly you out to Chicago for our next baseball and softball clinic, man. Say that one more time. What would consistency do? Consistency
will keep you in the lineup. I promise you.
Man, I wish my DJ took off tonight, man. We would have had the boom, 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 boom going. So now, you know, so Shanice, what is something that you want to accomplish this season? The hope for, I got my fingers crossed, the hope to be 2021 season, right? Is it you want to hit over 400? You want to win this SWAC championship? Is it both? What are some of the things that you want to accomplish?
My ultimate goal is to be able to come back and play. My doctors, they predicted that it would be a 6 months recovery, which would put me right in time for softball season. But I have a lot to prove. We have a lot of new talent. So my number one goal is to come back and play. My second goal is to be a good leader, be a good role model, because you're not only a softball player, you know what I'm saying? And just for the season well, I would like to go hit over 400. That's my goal, but I'm gonna be realistic. I'll be okay with 350. I honestly, I want to have a good year. I want to have a good solid year defensively and offensively. If I go 2 for 3 every game, I won't be upset because, being consistent. That's what I'm about. I want to be consistent. I want to be a good leader. I want to be a good role model. Whatever they need me to do, even if it's coming off the bench and just hitting one time a game, I want to be able to produce. I want to be able to be that player, be an ultimate teammate.
Man,
So
that's so powerful, man. Thank you so much. Now, Shanice, it's when somebody's watching this and they might watch it on YouTube or hear it on the podcast and everything like that, can you provide an email? Because I know somebody's going to say, man, I want to reach out and ask you a question about this. Can you provide an email for someone to contact you with or at?
Yes. I'll drop it in the comments, but I'll also say it. It's my first and last name, Shanice Akins, SHANICEAKINS @yahoo.com. But I will drop it in the comments for anybody who didn't.
Yeah, go ahead and drop it. So, what are some of the things that you want to see change about SWAC softball, right? If you had 2 things, like, so I'll give you an example. When I was playing SWAC baseball, I felt as though, let me pin your comment. When I was playing SWAC baseball, I felt as though the facilities needed to improve, right? Across the whole SWAC, right? I thought there should have been an onslaught of facility improvement. Right now, you guys have a beautiful facility and everything. Grambling did some improvements. I know Texas Southern has done some. Prairie View, they're improving it. So, but that was just an example that I had back in 2005 to 2009, which feels so dinosaur-y. So what are some of the things that you want to see change about SWAC softball?
Well, for us personally, I would love to see new facilities. They're in the process of doing some things right now at the softball field here. So I'm excited to see how it looks in the spring. We're supposed to have a new batting cage, locker rooms. So I'm excited to see that. But altogether, I think that there's been a lot of improvements. I don't know if you've ever been to Prairie View, but they have a beautiful new stadium for the softball team. Shout out to them. That is beautiful. It's really beautiful. They have nice cages. Texas Southern as well. All of those schools, they have really good facilities. But just to give softball our due credit, because we are a competitive sport, we do deserve the recognition. So just to
absolutely. That's why we show man. Listen, man, I tried to hit a softball against a fast pitch machine, and the girl didn't happen. And I can hit a little bit. I wasn't the greatest and everything, but that's why mad love, mad respect. So Shanice, we're definitely gonna have to do a part 2 once the season kicks off and everything, man. You drop some true jewels. Now, for everybody that's watching, when this is over, make sure you go to my profile, click the link in my link tree in my bio. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. For everybody watching on YouTube, make sure y'all subscribe right now. Listen on the podcast. Make sure you give me 5 stars so I can keep this thing going. Shanice Akins, thank you so much for joining me on the Recess. UAPB, we standing strong. We need everybody from UAPB. If you're alumni, you need to repost this right now. The SWAC, you need to repost this, man. It's all love. Baseball to softball, Black College. Make sure that you guys go follow Shanice, and make sure next week y'all tune in to the Recess with Coach E. Shanice, thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
And here's another hit, baby Bonds. We out of here, baby.